Cardi B files for divorce 3 years after marrying Offset.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Alright guys, talking to you guys about the Cardi B and Offset situation. Yeah, it's about time they have finally filed for divorce. Why did I say finally? Well, because I think we all expected it after a while. And I think this hoodie is perfect for this. Send them back to the manufacturer. When the person isn't doing what they've been brought to do, when they don't fulfill the purpose no more, you send them back to the source. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for a notification of the uploads. And for those of you returning, well, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals, you got the minerals. Alright, cool. Let's talk about it. Alright, so the Cardi B situation, she just filed for divorce just recently. And you know, I think this whole relationship from the very beginning, I think many of us have seen the roller coasters, ups and downs, the craziness. If you guys remember from years ago as well, where obviously Offset had been cheating, and you know he came on the stage and did this whole, you know, I miss you, I forgive me. You know, I love you, da 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 da, and did a whole spiel. And I did a video on that as well, and I said at the time that it was manipulative. It was. I mean, he came up on a stage to say, I forgive me and sorry, da da da, because that's what men do, right? They find ways to make it very awkward and make it so that you can't say no, which is why people do proposals in public. It's almost like pressure on you. I'm not saying that every person who's doing a public proposal is trying to put that pressure on you, but part of it, like when people are trying to manipulate situations, that's what they do, right?
Schedules, and we have shows, and I just felt like if I gave a break between time, I just can't give that break between time. So it's my forefront. I step to it as a man and say I'm wrong. And
so that, oh, forgive me, da, 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 in front of so many fans, right? It's a ploy to try and show you, look, as a grand gesture, I really miss you, forgive me for what I've done, da 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 da. But
you don't have to take me back, but I just want you to know I love you and I care, and I'm putting it all on the table. Just like I married her, I asked her to marry me in Philadelphia.
The truth of the matter is, forgiveness is not just saying the words or a great big grand gesture. Forgiveness really, asking for forgiveness, and it's about repenting and changing of your ways, okay? Even Jesus understands that, right? And so I got no problem with Cardi B and Offset being together, but when I was seeing the abuse behavior, and I call it abusive, when people keep cheating on you and you know, and doing what they do best, okay, which is, you know, be uncommitted to you, I knew that this relationship couldn't last very long. There's only so long you can take that level of abuse when you have that much power that Cardi B has. She's not short of suitors. She hasn't got financial deficits. You know, she's got a kid already by Offset. She's a beautiful girl. She's set for life. Like, she don't need him. Do you understand? Like, she does not need him. But I also understand the fact of her wanting a man that is prominent, successful, up there, because anything less than that sometimes can be an insecure man who sees her as making it up there and trying to compete with her, right? So I can understand why she may feel a certain way of that. She may not find another guy like Offset. But I really believe that this relationship had run its course. And so, you know, all the extra sexual talk that she was doing on the lives and the Instagram things, for me, just kind of, I know that's her kind of character in some shape or form, but I felt like there was a push. I felt like there was a lot of it was being done almost to cover up the cracks of the fact that your relationship was publicly put out there that it weren't great, right? If he's out here cheating, your relationship ain't that great no more. And so I felt the whole sexual energy which he was putting on the Instagram about how, you know, how Offset won it, do you want my putty, da, 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 all that kind of stuff. I thought it was extra. I thought it was too much.
Big fat black.
I thought she was capping a little bit. You know what I mean? Trying to make up for the relationship of what has been done in the past. And I know she's very loyal. You know, the last time she was, you know, cussing the rest of us, you know, for coming at Offset, you know, blah blah blah. But the truth of the matter is, like, the relationship has run its course. And the truth of the matter is, when people are not acting as they should, you send them back to the manufacturer. It's as simple as that. Now, in regards to obviously their divorce, I know that she's obviously filed, I think, for child support. You know, and the thing about divorces is that they break down because of either money, infidelity, abuse of some sort, like physical abuse, or can happen because as well people are just not getting what they need. Now, obviously, with Offset's history, you know what? I'm surprised it's been so quiet for so long that there hasn't been a side chick. Not that I want to judge the brother, but the guy, that's what he's on. He's on that energy. You know what I mean? So it made sense that obviously there would be side chicks that will come out of the woodwork. There hasn't been so far. But I wanted to kind of put it out there. I think the main thing for me watching Cardi B and Offset is a lesson for the rest of us, which is that, look, you don't have to take that. That is not a representative of relationships. Now, I know that Cardi B at the time was saying that, she forgave him, and, relationships are about forgiveness, and they do involve sometimes having to heal and forgive transgressions, and I absolutely believe that. I entrust that. I just felt like the way that he was cheating and how many he was cheating of, it's, coming even into a relationship with Cardi B, he already had baby mothers before that. He already had children previous to that. So it was like you were coming into an already existing precondition that he already had. Okay? And so I got no problem with any guy or girl having children coming to a relationship, but the fact that he had 3 already, then you were going to get involved with him on a clean slate. Not only that as well, Cardi B also as well was kind of pushing for the marriage thing in the first place. I mean, she alluded to it live on public TV with an interview with Charlotte.
Marry me.
You want to get married?
I'm a woman. Every woman I think wants to get married and want to have children.
It's early though.
I ain't never too early to get married now.
I ain't too young to get married, da da da. If he wants to marry me, da 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 da, right? All that da 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 stuff, yeah, was an indication, a push for Offset to marry her. Offset did eventually propose, but I think they had proposed a year before that anyway. I think they had been married a year before we actually knew officially, right? And so I appreciate the fact they kept it quiet, wanted to do their own thing, keep it low key. Great way to do it, because at the end of the day, low key is unproblematic. Do you get me? But at the same time, that pressure from her to him. Listen, if the guy's not ready, the guy's not ready, bro. Like, if you pressure my man, listen, guys who are pressured into marriage, yeah, are often the ones that are gonna bail out of that marriage. Why? Because they felt pressured in the first place to do it. Like, if you were pressured to buy a product that you weren't sure if you really, really wanted. After a while, if it doesn't realize its potential in what you believe it to be, you're gonna get annoyed with it. You're gonna say it's not fulfilling its potential, its purpose in your life. Therefore, cut it off, right? And so, the most important thing I would say for anyone in this regard is that understanding that you don't have to settle for the cheating rat behavior. Okay, you don't have to settle for a guy just because he's good looking. Yeah, don't settle for him because he's got money in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just as hard, it takes just as a strong woman to work things out of her husband who's cheated, as well as walking away from a relationship. And I think we got to get comfortable with going, I'm walking away, like Craig David. The power is in you walking away. You're allowed to walk away. You understand? Yeah? You're allowed to walk away. Why? Because you have a duty of care to yourself. Okay, you gotta love yourself, and therefore, in the instance of, like, for instance, like Cardi B and Offset, there's nothing wrong with her deciding to file for divorce. In fact, this has been coming. I believe, you see, a woman to get to the point where she's filing divorce, she's been coming to that point for a long time. This ain't new. This ain't something that she just thought of tonight. No. This has been coming. It's been on the peripheral for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she even considered it from the first time, but then allowed it because she wanted to see if this baby will change, right? Whichever means by it, but it's been coming for a very long time. It's nothing new with Cardi B and Offset. I do believe as well that with Cardi B and Offset, I think the reason why Cardi really loves Offset really the way she did, because when they broke up, she was really rooting to have them back together, right? But I really believe that her dysfunction loves his dysfunction, and I think a lot of people are in this space where their dysfunction finds others' dysfunction, and that's who they love. It's almost a codependent kind of situation, but your dysfunction, yeah, causes you to find other dysfunctional people, and then you try to love them through their dysfunctionality, but the dysfunctionality is not looking to improve. You need somebody someone can have a dysfunction, but they're willing to improve on that dysfunction. When you're not willing to improve on a dysfunction, then you stay stagnant, and actually what happens is stagnant water stinks, and the person begins to smell. And so I think with Cardi B obviously saying that, she came from a very big family of 8, so she got no problem with the fact he had 3 kids before that, etc., etc. The question is, had he come to a mindset where it's not about just breeding gal? Oh, I've got money, I can breed gal. Because I think a lot of these guys who've got money now may be thinking that their objective is to breed gal and set up a legacy through these women. Right? It doesn't work like that. It's not as simple as just creating a legacy. These children need fathers. These children need strong men in their lives. You understand? And the wives who are carrying them, and the girlfriends who are carrying them, and the women that are carrying them need strong partners, helpers in that regard. Yeah? And so with Cardi being Offset, I don't want to talk too much and kill it, but I'm going to say this. Send them back to the manufacturer. When they're not fit for purpose, return them back to the source. Guys, I appreciate you. Stay locked, stay loaded. Let us know your thoughts. What do you think about the Cardi B and Offset situation? Should they get divorced? Were you expecting a divorce? Let us know down below in the comment section below. We appreciate you. Stay locked, stay loaded. More love.
But the conversations need to happen. Like, you have to tell your wife or your husband what it is you like. All right, let's say you're a virgin, you might not know what you like, but from the beginning you start, once you're involved in contest, you should have an idea, do you know what I mean, of what you like, and you have to communicate that to your husband, to your wife, try new things, experiment, all that sort of stuff.
You know what I've even found though, yeah? Or I've heard, yeah? Like,
he's experienced.
No, it's not experience. This is because what
trust me, these times.
You know what I heard? No. This is real life stories.